Welcome to Cannabis School. I'm your host, Jesse Angeles.
And I'm Brandon Elder.
And we're here to talk to you about everything pertaining to cannabis, from vape,
flower,
edibles,
strains,
and everything in between. Welcome back, kids.
Oh, hidey ho.
And today we are going to be hanging out with
Our bombs.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Go down to the go down below. You'll find the code for bomb. The best dab rigs we've ever had.
I mean, I love my Dr. Dabber, but I have used this way more in the last handful of months. So if you guys don't know about Bommy rigs, go check it out. Like Jesse said, code below. Get yourself one of these bad boys. You get full temperature control range from like 225 up to 700.
And the cool thing too is this has by far been the best banger I've ever used. I love them. They're easy to clean, and they hold everything inside really well. Yeah. So you don't lose a bunch. Because I've had other ones where I could lose some out the top, but Brandon's got the spinner top, and I've got the bean flicker.
Yep, flick your bean. I got the spin the bean. I don't know, maybe it's some tongue action.
Either way, you're going to get there. But today in our bombs, we have Jaeger.
Jaeger. Thankfully, it does not taste like dabbing Jaeger, because I could imagine that would taste like shit.
You don't like Jaeger?
No, I do, but dabbing Jaeger?
Oh, dude, black licorice taste?
I love black licorice. Do you guys like black licorice? I feel like it's a very...
It's one of the only
flavor.
You know what though, but Jaeger is a different type of drink. You got to have it real ice cold.
Oh yeah,
and it's amazing. You know, it was cool. I was talking and I kept getting more smoke coming out of my mouth. I didn't even see that.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I never did a lot of Jaeger on its own. I always did Jaeger bombs with Red Bull, but I don't drink energy drinks and I don't really drink a lot of Jaeger anymore.
Yeah, and then the cool thing about Jaeger is that we've had it in other ones too. We've had Purple Platinum Jaeger. Weirdly enough, we couldn't find any information on that one. But we did get our hands on Jaeger, and it's in a concentrate. Man, I got to tell you, this is a great hybrid sativa leaning one. Very awake.
Very to my face.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel a lot of body relaxation yet, but it's not like...
It's a go juice one.
I don't feel tightness in my chest. I don't feel a racing heart. I don't feel tightness in my shoulders. This is a very mellow, but
it sits slightly in your upper back, just slightly. More of pressure to do this. Go. That's why I call it the go strain. If you have enough, you're going to be super productive. If you have too much, what's too much? Well, for me, it was 3 sessions on my banger. Mm-hmm. And then I went into a meeting.
Oh, how did that go?
And it dried my eyes out to no end. And I was like, I could fully pay attention, but the side effect was my eyes. It wasn't my brain.
You just got to lean over to your neighbor and go, hey, bro, would you spit in my eyes real fast? They're super dry. And then get back to it.
And then in that same note, Brandon just sits there. And then all of a sudden there's a female staff member next to him. And he goes, hey, would you spit into my mouth? And then she just looks at him and he goes, oh, wait. Well, you think about that, dude. It's...
Man down.
Jaeger is such a great strain for the reasons that most people they're not looking for, right? A lot of people don't like... Well, no, I'm not going to say a lot of people. There are people that have this judgment on sativa strains. Oh, no.
Judgment?
Yeah, it's going to make me anxious. No, I can't do that.
I think it's because it's still that, hey, I only do... Wow.
Oh, I'm falling.
It's like terpenes don't exist, and they're only going off of, hey, is this indica, sativa, or hybrid? And going, right. Oh, well, I had a bad experience with one that someone said was sativa, and so since then, I just don't touch those.
Dude, I'm like that, remember?
Baba Kush, at the beginning, go check it out.
Holy shit.
Set him on a little bit of a unconscious fear of indica dominant strains for a minute.
Yeah, it was probably for a good year.
Yeah, we we didn't segue into many indica dominant strains through that first bit after.
Which is really sweet because I didn't know that. I just figured that Brandon was like, this is what we're smoking today. I'm like, okay.
Oh, and I had a big stash of them set aside for all the indica dominant ones. And I'm like, we haven't touched these. But
the thing was cool now, though, is that, once you're able to get past it, and I really feel that understanding terpenes is where your whole experience with cannabis starts to change.
Yeah. And dosing, and like the episode we did with Louise, she talked about how, she was thinking that there was something wrong because she was using so much, and yet she listened to the show and was like, oh, wait, no, I can be a functioning cannabis consumer out in society and still consume like I am. I don't have to think of myself as this stoner. Like, I'm making 6 figures a year. I'm being productive. I'm doing all of these things, not what society has told me a stoner is.
Well, that's the thing, is that we've allowed ourselves to get judged by it.
Well, I think, yeah.
Like if you had a little bit and you get in the car and you start driving, you get all paranoid thinking you get pulled over by the cops.
Or just in general, like going to the store. Like, oh shit, someone's going to know I'm high. Well, why? Why is it that you think that you're acting in some sort of fashion that makes you seem not okay in society?
Because you're walking around being silly, smiling.
And no one's doing that. Everyone is like stone-faced, staring at their phone serious. And that. And if you're smiling and happy and talking to people and that, they're like, oh shit, what's wrong with this person?
Yeah, but the thing that's really funny is that once you start doing that, and you guys, I'm sure many of you have felt the same thing, and you've had, because you had these things happen to you, where those who used to go, I could never do that, start to ask you questions about it, and then they get pulled into it. Friends, family, random strangers. And it is quite interesting, but I find that the thing to tell them about that's where I've been, and I'm glad that you talked about the terps, is that I talk about terpenes now. I don't talk about strains. I don't talk about indica, sativa, or hybrid. Those are all afterthoughts. The name is just a great way to say, ooh, I felt really good with that. Like a unique strain to Utah, which I feel bad for all of you, is cougar piss.
Yeah.
And it is one of the best strains I've ever had.
Incredibly pleasant.
Oh,
that was
my gosh.
Very good experience.
But it does the things that we're talking about. Side effects mean you might talk to strangers or be nice.
Yeah. Right? Like, get out of your head. Oh my gosh. So I spent the last few days down in Zion.
Yeah.
And we went to this restaurant down in the middle of Zion area. It was called Wild Time. And they have this sign down in there right inside the lobby, and it says, we don't have a Wi-Fi password. Pretend it's old times and you actually have to talk to people. And I was just like, oh my God.
Fuck yeah.
This is amazing. Like, I love that. I love that there's no cell service down here. I love that it's like just in this beautiful canyon. And Emily and I just had dinner outside. There was like vineyards and beautiful grass and trees and mountains. And it was like the most incredible experience. And not once did we think about, oh shit, we don't have cell service. But it was, man, that was random. This is a good strain, guys.
This is. It's introspective, and it says it can be spacey, but I don't know. Like, I don't feel like a new consumer, yeah, I could see them feeling spacey. So it's go low and slow, always low and slow.
Do you think that's just because it's different than what they're used to? I was trying to think.
That's why people judge indica sativa hybrid. That's it automatically puts them into a place. It's like saying like, oh, this person's from such and such place in the world. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, they do these things, so they immediately judge it, right? But then you find out they're like, I don't do those things. What's wrong?
Right. Well, it was like Mormons. Let's go there because well, we're very familiar with that.
Yeah.
Like when I first went out knocking doors in Kentucky with Vivint ages ago, and I still was a Mormon, and they're like, oh, do you have horns? How many wives do you have? And I'm like, fuck, one. Do you know why would you want more than one? Do you know how hard it is to be like one woman? I wouldn't want to have to deal with more than one person all at the same time. That sounds like way too much stress.
Dude, just look in the Bible at the end of Genesis. I mean, there's this guy in there, and he wants this one chick, and the dad's like, yeah, you got to marry the oldest one first. And he's like, all right. And then all of it, he just has more and more. And then his wives can't bear any children. So the woman's like, well, then have my servant, lay a seed inside her.
Right.
And that was a story. It wasn't a story of saying, hey, this is the way. That guy had a horrible life. It was constantly fighting with all these women. And then he's like, I got to get out of here. And he tries to run away. And then the king follows him, says, hey, I'm going to kill you. You can try and run off with everybody? Like, no, I'm good. That's a warning. Why would you ever want to do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand the early Mormons. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know either. But it's that thing of like, hey, you are from this place, or you have this certain label or that, so you must think or believe or be this type of person. Or
exactly.
In this type of way. And it's like, man, that's so disconnected from how individual all of us truly are.
Do we live around so many Mormons, so many Latter-day Saints, whatever, and they're great people. They're loving. I love those people. I love all people. I don't love a religion or a sect. I love people. I don't care where you are. We are both astronauts. We're all astronauts together.
Super high.
Well, we're high, but we're also on a rock spinning in infinity.
Flying through space.
Yeah. We're all fellow travelers. And it's, I'd rather get along with all the other ones.
Welcome, astronauts.
Yeah. We're going to be flying over
Houston, we have a problem. Jesse's high as shit. Please help us land.
I'm getting high. But that's what's cool about, that's why we always joke around with people. Like, we convert more people to cannabis than to Christ. And the reason why is that if you want to be closer to that feeling of love, of acceptance, of non-judgmental, like, how many conversations have you had with random people that you never would before?
So many.
Before cannabis.
Due to cannabis, so many. But like before, I was way more a judgmental asshole.
Well, no, I don't think you were an asshole. I think it's
no. But like,
you only
from
knew
where
so
I am
much.
At, if I were to look back, I would go, man, I was kind of a judgmental asshole. Some of the things I said or did or perspectives that I had, it was from ignorance and what I knew at the time. But over time and education and learning and opening my mind to other perspectives and things, I've gone, holy shit, there's way more out there than anything I knew. And so now I feel like I know that much versus before,
Yeah, and that's the cool part, though, man. It's like, it's not to look at one of right and wrong. It's just different perspectives. And, it's easy to get caught up emotionally with that. But that's where I say, like, cannabis has been such a great conduit to helping us better understand. Like, without cannabis, I wouldn't do things right now that I am really enjoying. And I do that because I tell that to other people. Like, I did that event at that bar, and people kept asking me, like, hey, you want to get a drink? You want a drink? And I had an open tab. I get whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be connected. I believe that alcohol, too much in that, helps for you to divide. Alcohol is an isolation drug. You want to be by yourself. Sometimes you want to be around others. But the thing that you commonly fall into is, I drank too much and I don't remember. You remember. I've been blackout drunk before. The only thing I remember is not falling asleep. I didn't remember falling asleep. But it's never, I did shit and I forgot it. I remember what I did.
There's moments of the very first time that I actually got drunk that I honestly have no idea anything. There's
I totally
moments
believe
of that night, and I'm like, I have no clue. But I hadn't really ever drank much. And I was sitting outside of a dance with my ex-wife's brother. He was going through shit. And he had put SoCo in a Dr. Pepper bottle for me. And I had finished that whole Dr. Pepper bottle, and we were just sitting in the car waiting, talking still. And so as I'm sitting there listening to him, I'm like, man, I'm starting to feel something. It feels nice. And I've never drank liquor. I don't know that you don't drink it straight out of the bottle when you don't have any sort of tolerance. And so as I'm waiting there, I keep just drinking off the bottle.
Woof.
straight off the bottle.
Woof.
And we get inside, and we're standing in line to get inside, and it's 15, 20, 25 minutes to get inside. I don't remember moments after that. It comes in like flashes.
Yeah, your consciousness comes in flashes. Like you straight up, like you're on autopilot and you're just so disoriented. Like
it's like I remember
flashes
being at certain points, and then everything else between the night, I could not tell you what happened.
Yeah, you're just kind of being led around.
Like, I don't even remember anything that happened.
Dude, I remember I was in the Navy. We went down to Tijuana back when you could just walk across. And it was a long time ago, guys. And when it was back in the 1900s. But we walk across, we go, and at that time, Tijuana was very different from today's Tijuana. And so that time, it would be classified as a very scary place for many people. And
when you first went?
No, I've been there since I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
But when I was there in the Navy, it was a different Tijuana.
What year was that?
98.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Because I went in 2002.
Yeah, very different then. This one had like some of the old cobble streets.
They still had that in.
Now it's like
Tijuana
beautifully paved roads. There's actual storefronts, because there were storefronts then too.
Yeah.
But we went during nighttime, not daytime, not the commerce side.
Okay.
And it's just a nightlife there. And this one place we went to, it's like $12, but it's open bar until 5 a.m.
Jeez.
So you pay the ticket and you go in. The one thing I should have done was stick to beer. But I had mixed drinks. And I ate the ice. And Montezuma's Revenge hit me immediately. And I was throwing up like constantly in there. And then I came back in, I'm getting the spins. And then it's a series of flashes of events of me getting to the border. And then being put together enough to say American citizen while I hold up my military ID. And it was,
crazy.
And then I woke up at the ship with sand in my ear.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't like drinking as much. Or if I have drinks now, it's like one drink, because I know that I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of drunk, shitty.
No control.
Yeah. Hangovers, or like, I don't remember what happened, or I would never have done that.
Well, that's why I think they call them spirits, because it can enhance your spirit or possess you with one. And I think it is, because you meet people that you're just really shitty drunks. They're mean, they're abusive, they're obnoxious. You get the happy ones too, but then it's like a fake happy. Oh, the sad ones are the worst.
Yeah, you get all sorts of ones. Yeah.
See, but the thing is, if I'm sad and I smoke weed, I don't cry. I ponder and I think about, like, where is this coming from? Why am I focusing so hard on something that really doesn't have an impact on anything?
I think that cannabis has actually allowed me to feel a lot more.
Me too.
And that's probably what's made me less of an asshole.
You're not an asshole.
Is that, like, I don't think even my kids now, they're like, Dad, I never see you cry. Like, or if I do cry, they're like, what the hell? You never cry.
Yeah, I don't cry as
and
much.
Like, I don't know. It was something growing up you didn't do, and being small. Well, if you cry, you're going to get picked on even more. So you don't cry. But I think that cannabis has actually given me the ability to be okay feeling.
Yeah.
And allowing myself to cry. But I'm not one to usually sit in it. I'll allow myself to feel it. And then I'm like, okay, but that isn't this moment. This is the moment. The thoughts I'm feeling. Yeah, basically thoughts that cause feelings. So, and then I change that, because I go, well, I allowed myself to cry and feel this, but this isn't this moment. This isn't the reality of this second I'm in.
Yep.
I'm allowed to let that go. I cried. I felt whatever emotion I needed to maybe release. So now I can hopefully process and move to the next stage. Yeah. Whereas maybe I think before I just held on to shit.
Yeah. And, and that's a good perspective. You saying that, like, it's allowed you to feel. and what cannabis has done for me, because I was very emotional. Like when I felt emotions, it was strong. Anger and sadness and love. But now I tend to I don't feel the need to constantly feel. I mean, when something tragic happens, I'm sad. But before, when life was being hard, I would get sad sometimes, feeling like a failure and all that. But what cannabis has allowed me to do is just going, well, what can we do? Like, it slows things down enough to my mind to going, all right, we don't have to have all these problems. And is this a real problem, or is this a manufactured problem? And you get so introspective and deep thinking about it that it allows you to be able to go, cool. Maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, because I think that those moments of happiness should outweigh the sadness, regardless of whatever's going on. And cannabis has allowed me to, and many of you may feel the same way, but it has really brought me closer to God. It really has, because I know the God that I believe in doesn't wish any bad to come upon anybody just because of the choices that they make. It's who are you and how do you live? How do you honor the two things, the biggest things that I feel to ask, like love me fully and then love everybody else. What is that teaching you? Love. That's it. Yeah. It's just love. It's not like either or. It's love. And when you start doing that and start going around, like that event I did, I fucking smoked like 2 bowls before I went in. Like I fucking roasted those motherfuckers with some OG Kush.
Sounds delicious.
Yes, it was. And I came in there just like, I just need water. That's it.
Is anyone else parched?
Right?
I got really bad cottonmouth right now.
Oh man, it was so awesome, because when you bring that presence, and if you're feeling kind of worried about, family members or friends that will look down upon cannabis, the only reason why they'll look down upon cannabis is because of you. So remove that judgment of yourself.
And the stigma and miseducation. But if you can slowly introduce to them
show who you are.
Yeah.
They're not going to think any less of you, because they'll be like, wow. The only thing that's going to do, it's going to invite them in. Brandon has experienced that in depth. I just don't care. And I'm like, yep, I do this. But Brandon grew up in a very different household, and he grew up in one that's very common in Utah. And that's the sad part. And because of that, it really creates this unneeded divide. So let go of the biggest thing with your family members, especially if you're Utahns and if you're Mormon and you smoke marijuana and you're hiding it, just be awesome. You're more Christ-like than the other person. And don't think that as a better thing. You're just going like, yeah, I'm fulfilling the call. I'm chilling out. I'm not judging. This strain is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's wild. It's supposed to be like very chill, relaxed, happy. Like, I don't feel hazy. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not a hazy, foggy. I don't feel couch locked. I just feel good.
Yeah, I feel really good.
You guys, check out Jaeger. Get yourselves a bomb. They have these little tiny portable ones that we don't use on the show much.
Yeah, the magic bean.
Yeah, magic bean. Flick the bean on there. You know us. We're all about that bean. Munchers. We're a bunch of munchers.
Yeah. All right, kids. Hey, go down there, code below. And also check out Hemper Co. They've got some great stuff too. We love them. We haven't got a box yet from them for April. No big deal.
But our favorite goodies are all below. So check them out. Catch you next week.
Bye-bye.